So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Postmodern Patriot podcast. My name is John Mccarthy. I'm your host, and today I have a really awesome guest on the show. He's a good friend of mine. I've known him for a really long time in life. His name is Louis Pisano, and he's the founder of Wake Up and Work, which is a fitness apparel company that helps others realize their full potential, take control of their lives, and create their own happiness. Their apparel has been endorsed by people like the infamous bodybuilder Jay Cutler and the Jersey Shore legend Paulie D. Louis currently manages bars at the Hard Rock Hotel in San Diego.
Correct, downtown San Diego. General manager for all the bars over there right now. We have the 207 Lobby Bar, which is your basic hotel lobby bar, and then I manage Float Rooftop Pool and Lounge, where we also have our Sunburn Pool Club on Saturdays every summer.
That's awesome.
Well, it's pretty wild. It's a different kind of animal, different kind of setting. It's a little different from Atlantic City and Vegas, but it's a great culture. The hotel there is awesome. The people are awesome, and just San Diego itself is just perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen, welcome to the show.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, I appreciate. So you flew all the way out just for my show.
I flew out here just to do the show for an hour and a half, and I'm flying back after this.
I wish. No, what really did bring you out?
My little cousin Jonna, well, not so little. She just graduated Stockton University yesterday.
Yeah.
She's an only child, but she's like a little sister to me. So she was at my graduation from Rowan 4 years ago, so I flew out for that. And then it just happens to be Mother's Day, so killing two birds with one stone there.
So you did actually end up graduating from Rowan.
I did.
Yeah.
After 5 years, I ended up graduating. We'll get into that part, but after Brookdale for 2 years, Rowan for a year, then I lost my financial aid, so I was out of school for a year, then back to Rowan for 2 more years, and I finally graduated after 3 years. 3 years of school in 4 years at Rowan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a little grind, it was a little journey, it was a little frustrating.
Yeah.
But 2015, about 4 years ago.
So I thought that after the first dropout, because of the financial problems, that you were done after that and you just left.
So that was actually the second time that happened. So out of high school, I was supposed to go to East Carolina.
Yeah.
And a week before I was supposed to head down there, I was all packed up and everything. I was like fucking giddy as hell. And I got a call from the admissions office that my financial aid dropped and I needed $10,000. Cash check or money order, or I was going to lose my admission. So I didn't know what to fucking do. I had 6 days to get $10,000. And then, so I had to withdraw, so I got charged a $1,000 withdrawal fee. And then went to a little bit of a depression, anxiety stage for about 6 to 8 months. But I ended up just going to Brookdale, which worked itself out. It was the best thing that happened to me at the time. So I ended up there for 2 years, and then I visited a buddy of mine. My sophomore year at Brookdale, I visited my buddy Travis at Rowan, and then he convinced me to just kind of transfer into there. And then after that first weekend I visited, I applied to transfer there the following year, and then I just ended up at Rowan, which is the other best decision that I ever made at the time, just because of kind of where it brought me, people brought me to, and kind of the career path that I've led right now and where I'm at in my life right now. So everything worked itself out. It was challenging, it was frustrating a little bit, but in the end, everything happens for a reason. Everything works itself out the way it should be, so it worked out well.
Dude, that's awesome. I didn't know that. I thought that you just said screw it with the school thing and moved on.
I was gonna. So after that, I lost my financial aid, did 2 years at Brookdale, and then I transferred to Rowan University. So after that first year at Rowan, I lost my financial aid again for the second time, going into my 4th year of school. So I took that year off, I just worked, and that's when like all the partying and all that shit really got bad. I was actually just finishing up, and that's when I actually got into the nightclub and bar industry when I started in Atlantic City that year off from school. And then that following summer I got back into school, and then I did 2 more years, and then I graduated. So,
dude, that's awesome.
It was about 6 years of school.
What were you majoring in, or what did you get your degree in?
So I started Brookdale in business.
Yeah, and for listeners, Brookdale is the community college near here, and then
correct.
Rowan and Stockton are like a little bit. They're a lot better schools, but they're a little like hour away from here, both of them.
Right. So Stockton's down by Atlantic City in Galloway, and then Rowan University is out in Glassboro, about 20-25 minutes outside of Philly, but still in Jersey.
Yeah.
So I went to Brookdale Community College. First semester I started off in business just because a lot of people just start off like general business because it's so broad. And then Coach Klein, our football coach back in high school, told me he would offer me a coaching job once I graduated if I wanted to switch over to education. And my grandfather was a huge history buff. He was a history teacher. He taught at Seton Hall, Rutgers, Georgetown. So I loved history, like modern history. So I changed my major right away to history and education. And with the expectation that once I'm done with Brookdale, I'll just be done with 2 years and I'll go into coaching and teaching, and that was it. And so I did that. I was going that route, and then when I transferred to Rowan University, I didn't realize I didn't do my due diligence or research. Their history program was just awful. It was rough. It was brutal the first semester. I was like, I can't do this shit anymore, especially here, and I didn't want to go through the whole transfer process again. So I dropped business. I dropped history. I dropped the education program. The education program was great. The history program sucked. So I dropped that. I switched back to business. I was like, let's just see where it goes from here.
Yeah.
And then switching that, lost a year of my grade because it was about 65 credits that I lost because I was doing it for 5 semesters at that point.
Jeez.
So once I switched back to business, I just set myself back a year.
So when you went back into business, was that like finance or business administration?
So administration management. That's the route I just wanted to go. Be very broad, just kind of keep my options open. And at the time, so after everything happened with going to East Carolina, dropped out and all that stuff, my first year at Brookdale Community College, I was out of a job. So I was working at Mr. C's Beach Bistro in Allenhurst on the beach as a busser. And then I quit because I was 2 weeks out from leaving to East Carolina.
Yeah.
And then when I didn't get to go there, I was out of a job. And when I went to go back to get my job, they already filled it because it was going to be the fall. So they really need to up the amount of busters they had because it was going to get slow again. So then I was at the Jersey Shore Premium Outlets one day just walking around shopping. And a buddy of mine that was in one of my math classes at Brookdale walked into the store, and I look up and says, Ed Hardy. I'm like, what the fuck's Ed Hardy? So I walked in just to say what's up to him. And we started shooting the shit, and I told him I was still looking for a job and everything. And he was telling me a little bit about the brand. And Ed Hardy is really Don Ed Hardy. He's like the father of modern tattooing.
Yeah.
So a lot of the pinup stuff, a lot of the Sailor Jerry kind of style tattoos, him and Sailor Jerry kind of like started that trend.
Yeah.
For a lot of people out there who don't know, the rum Sailor Jerry was actually a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
So he gave me an application. I filled it out. I met with his manager on the spot, and then I had a job working there as a seasonal stock associate at the retail store the following week. Wow. So that's kind of, a trickle-down effect, just kind of going about my day and stuff. So I did that for about 3 months through the holiday that year, 2009, the fall. And then after that, I wanted to be on the floor selling. I wanted to kind of be around people because I was like put away in the closet, just kind of stocking T-shirts and shit.
Yeah.
And they told me they didn't have any openings, so I was like, all right, well, I'm going to leave because I need something better. Like, this isn't working for me. So then they gave me a trial on the floor, and boom, 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 I was selling left and right. So like, all right, you're going to be a sales associate. So I did that for a few months, and then I worked myself up to a part-time key holder, which is, in retail terms, like an assistant manager kind of style.
Yeah.
Just an hourly rate. So I was doing that as a key holder while I was still at Brookdale. And then eventually worked my way up to even have the opportunity to interview for the assistant store manager spot. But I declined it because I wanted to continue going to school because I was like, this isn't what I want to do. Like,
right.
I'm working on school and all that shit. And then, and then I was at Brookdale. Where were we?
You were talking about how you were at Brookdale and then your transition between the two, and you were in general business.
Right.
Yeah.
General business. So transition from history and education into general business. So at the time, when I was in retail, I stayed in retail for about 3 years.
Yeah.
And even when I went to Rowan University, so when I was at Rowan, I was still driving down for the holidays and the weekends. So I would go through 4 or 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, and then I would drive all the way back to Ocean Friday night, so about an hour and a half commute. I'd work at Ed Hardy Saturday and Sunday. Sunday night, I drive all the way back to Rowan University, and then I just do it all over again.
Oh, wow.
And that was just because that was the only job I had.
Yeah.
So it was the only money I was making, so half the money I was making was gas money just to get to and from the job. But it was a decent job. They took care of me well. Most of the time I was making commission until the company stopped doing commission. But I went the business route because of, I was in business, I was in retail, stuff like that. And then business is so broad that it just keeps your options open and allows you to have the opportunity to do kind of different things.
Yeah.
And then once Ed Hardy went out of business and closed in, I believe, 2012, the end of 2012, that was actually the year that I lost my financial aid for the second time at Rowan. So then I lost my job and I was out of school. So then I was like, fuck, now what? So then at the time, Dave Meyer was my store manager. So he was originally at UGG in the outlets, and then my store manager was leaving for True Religion, so we needed to find a manager. And then I brought Dave in to be my boss.
Oh.
Because I didn't want to interview for the store manager job the second time because I wanted to continue to go to school.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I wasn't in school, but I knew I was going back eventually. It was just a matter of when.
Yeah.
So I brought him in, got him the co-manager job to start, and then he moved up to store manager. And then our regional manager, Dave, allowed me to stay on as a seasonal employee. So on the weekends, you know, I drive down every Friday, work Saturday, Sunday, drive back to school Sunday nights, and then go through school and do the same thing all over again. But then the year I was out of school, I was just working at Hardy again full time. And then the company went out of business, and then a few of us took off like the next week, went down to Atlantic City and just partied.
Yeah.
For about 4 or 5 days. And I was using I have 2 brothers, younger Dom, older Anthony. I was using Anthony's ID from the time I was 18 to 20 years old.
Yeah.
And I never got caught, you know, we always kind of looked alike.
Yeah, you do. You guys all look the same, yeah.
Years ago. Dom looks a lot more like me now, and it's like,
it's
fuck.
kind of crazy.
Am I really that ugly? I'm like, shit. But, I love them to death. But, I was using an ID, and we were going to Atlantic City like once a month.
Really?
So at this time when Ed Hardy closed, obviously I was 21 years old. So we spent 4 or 5 days in Atlantic City just partying. We're like, fuck it, we're out of a job. We got our final check. Let's just go spend it wild and have some fun. And this is when I was a big partier. I was fucking drinking like a fucking fish.
Yeah.
You know, I ballooned up to 177 pounds and like 25% body fat, and I was only 5'3".
Yeah.
So I was out of shape. I looked like shit. I had a full grizzly beard.
Oh.
It was just a mess. So going down Atlantic City a lot, we always got on the guest list. So then this is right before I got into the club scene. One night I'm wasted and I emailed this kid whose guest list I always got on. I'm like, yo, I want to get involved. Like, I don't have a job right now. Like, what's it going to take to, like, be a promoter? So he sent me to a couple people. They invited me out to the pool after dark at Harrah's Resort in Atlantic City. It was a Wednesday after the Super Bowl when the Baltimore Ravens beat the Niners in the blackout game when the lights went out.
Yeah.
So 3 days later, I went down there. They kind of gave me the whole orientation spiel, like kind of how the whole process works. And then they're like, yeah, if you want to do it, like just sign on here, and then we'll see how it goes. So when you're a promoter, especially in Atlantic City,
it's like a rough game.
It's a rough game,
yeah,
but it's trial by error.
Yeah.
But at the same time, 95% of people that are a promoter or host on there live around AC.
Right.
Being in Ocean, it's an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
So I'm commuting down there 3 days a week, there and back, because I don't have a hotel to stay at. I don't have anywhere to live down there. So for the first 4 or 5 months, I was making like $100 a week.
Oh.
Like this is like $400 or $500 a month. Like
so and you're living at home.
Living at home, commuting, tolls, gas, the whole nine, and I was driving like a 2000 Chevy Trailblazer, got like 12 gallons to the mile.
Oh God.
So it was just a guzzler. So
yeah,
that was a challenge. After 4 or 5 months, I was like, fuck, I don't know if I can do this anymore. But and that was actually when I started to really kind of increase my physicality and get back to my like whole like fitness regimen. So that's kind of when like my transformation kind of started. But we'll get there in a second. But my boss at the time, Frank Catcherbrone, great dude. He's still a mentor to me today. He's kind of like helped me get to where I'm at in the industry right now, along with a couple other people. But he asked me to be a little more involved. And I told him, if you want me to be more involved, I need more of a base salary, and I need somewhere to stay. I can't drive back and forth.
Yeah.
So it worked itself out.
Smart move. You're negotiating a little more for yourself.
It worked out. He's like, hey, I need you here more. I'm like, dude, I can't be there more unless you pay me more and give me somewhere to stay. I can't drive back and forth. So since I was third party, I wasn't an employee of the Harrah's Resort. They put me up in the hotel 3 nights a week.
Okay.
So it worked out. It worked out perfectly.
Oh, that's awesome.
It worked out great. So Wednesday, Friday, Saturday nights, I'd stay in the hotel. Gave me base pay. I still made commission on my guest list, stuff like that. So that's kind of where my career in the industry really started to kind of take off, because then it got me to like the next step every single year. Okay,
so let's go there. Well, first of all, the promotion game. I think that is like the toughest. That is like sales, where everybody else has got the same product as you, and it's very hard to edge out a customer. Yep. So what was that like? What made you successful in that job?
So that was tough. So down in Atlantic City, if you're a promoter per se, you're kind of bouncing around the clubs, in different areas. For myself, I stayed at the pool after dark. I was like, I'm gonna stay here. I realized I was the only person staying in the one spot at the time, so I was like, all right, it's gonna be more of an opportunity for me once I'm able to grow. So let me kind of see where this one place takes me instead of bouncing around. So let me just stay here and kind of grow my roots here. So it was tough. It was a grind, being on the street a little bit. And when I say on the street in Atlantic City, the streets aren't nice down there.
No.
It's not a good area to be in. So it's more like being on the boardwalk, handing out flyers with like your name on. Say my name at the door for free cover, shit like that.
Yeah.
But
so that's like the level that you're at. You're like out on the streets hustling.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
You're a straight up street promoter at that point.
Oh wow.
But that's when social media started to really like kind of kind of
Take
get
off.
its wings and take off.
Yeah.
So
What year is this?
this is back in 2013.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
6 years ago.
Yeah.
6 years ago, last month was when I was getting started.
Yeah, but I remember that too in college. Like using social media to promote the bar was
Yep.
the best way to do it. Yeah.
The best way, and it was crazy how it worked too. Like I had people hitting me up from like fucking Maryland,
Yeah.
from like Connecticut, like yo, I'm coming down to AC for the weekend. What can you do for me? And the way social media works today, and that's why my business right now, that we'll get into a little later,
Yeah.
is all e-commerce and social media,
Yeah.
just because of what it provides.
Right.
So I was doing the whole promoting thing. You know, I was posting 3-4 times a day with like social media pics and flyer pics for the pool after dark, and we were known as the top club in AC to see a celebrity or whatever.
Yeah.
So we did a lot of like hosting, a lot of appearances, as to where other clubs had like big name DJs, big name performers. We did more of like the C-list performances. Once in a while, we do like an A-list performer, like we had Chris Brown. We've had Kevin Hart show up for an appearance. We did Fetty Wap for Memorial Day weekend. You know, we had a couple big appearances. And back in their heyday, the pool had like, they had Diddy, they had Jay-Z and Beyonce show up. So they've had people, they had Dead Mouse. But while I was there,
That's huge.
while I was there, it was more so about, you know, the A or the C, B-list performers than just kind of a couple appearances here and there.
Ah,
But,
so that's how they generate revenue. They'd
that's
have
it.
like a celebrity show up and
Yep.
be in the crowd and spend more money on that than the people being talented.
Exactly, and for people out there that aren't familiar with the pool after dark, it's a huge venue. It can hold 4,000 or 5,000 people, and it's just got a glass dome. So it's a big pool that kind of it's covered by a dome. So they promote it's 82 degrees in here every single day of the year. So it's kind of like a nice little oasis setting.
Yeah.
So rain, snow, whatever, you still got it covered by the dome, and it's a pretty awesome setting during the day. And then at night, it transformed to this mega nightclub.
Yeah.
And
People love that place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're all about it.
Yeah, and it's a little different from the other clubs in AC because of what it provides. The uniqueness and the diversity of kind of what it allows you to do compared to the other clubs. Just, you know, it's all dancey, it's all table service, stuff like that. The pool is so big that there's so many different things you can do. But at the time, we were a top 12 nightclub in the entire country.
Oh wow.
So it was pretty cool.
How many people were working there when you were there?
I'm not really sure. So
Like how many other promoters did you have out there with you?
So we had like 10, 15 promoters per se, but then that were like with the company I was with. So I worked for Center Stage Entertainment, third party promotional team. So we were kind of like the Pool After Dark was our clients.
Yeah.
So like we were the promotional team for them, third party, whatever. But the team that was there on a daily basis, there was like 4 or 5 of us.
Oh wow, that's not
Yeah.
that big. You'd think
Not
it'd be
big.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was my boss Frank. Step below him was my other boss Bravo. And then
Yeah, because he's from New Jersey, so he's got to have a nickname.
yeah, of course, right. And it's funny now that my director in San Diego's name is Joe Bravo.
There you go.
So
Joe Bravo.
Can't get away from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a small team that on top of that, the club itself had maybe 40, 50 employees and then like 30, 40 security guards. So it's a pretty big venue.
Yeah.
On an average Wednesday, like a small party is 1,000 people.
Really?
And for some of the other clubs, their max is 1,000 people.
That's insane. So when you moved to Vegas eventually?
I did. So I spent the rest of that year kind of trying to move up the chain a little bit. They put me in kind of like that's not so much a supervisory role, but kind of making that base week salary, helping them out a little more here and there. Going to their office in Lindenwold, New Jersey, which is down by Rowan. So eventually, when I was living at Rowan, and we'll get there in a little bit, like I was so bad financially at one point to where I was driving to my boss's house every week to get my check just so I could pay my phone bill, just so I could pay bills, just so I could pay utilities and rent and all that shit.
Oh God.
And then so after that, they bumped me up to like a nightlife coordinator. It's like a glorified promoter. So like I helped to manage the promoters, help set up guest lists for the promoters, help set up like discounted rooms for the promoters, stuff like that. So kind of moving up the chain a little bit. But I grew a relationship with all the employees of the venue itself. So the managers, the director, the VP, his name's Howard Weiss. So between Frank and Howard, like they pretty much comprise of kind of what got me to the kind of person I am in the industry today and kind of the knowledge that I have. It's 90% from the two of them.
Okay.
So I spent the next 2.5 years there through called the end of 2015. But July 2015, took a quick trip to Vegas. It was like a 40-hour bender.
Yeah,
Which
is what everybody does in Vegas.
Everybody
Yeah.
does in Vegas. So
Yeah.
we went out for literally 48 hours. And at the time, Howard Weiss, who was the VP of Entertainment for Caesars Entertainment Eastern Division, so he oversaw all the nightlife entertainment venues between, how Harrah's Resort Atlantic City, Showboat Atlantic City, Bally's Atlantic City, and Caesars Atlantic City.
Yeah.
So 4 venues, huge venues. And he, at the time when we were out there in Vegas in July 2015, he was toying with the idea of going back to Vegas because he lived there years ago prior. And I was like, hey, if you get a job out here, have a contract for me, I'll be on the next plane out. Just kind of joking around.
Yeah.
And then, sure enough, 2-3 months later, he took a job in Vegas. And he called me, he's like, hey, so I'm going to Vegas, are you coming? I was like, no way, I'm not going to Vegas. Like, I don't want to fucking do that. Like, I'm trying to get out of the industry.
Yeah. Because, can you talk about why you want to get out of the industry? Because if it's anything like me, it's
just a grind. And
you're around, like, a really bad...
You're in a bad setting if you can't take care of yourself.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to control it. So for my first year in Atlantic City, it was all about partying and having fun.
Yeah.
Partying, having fun, making a few extra dollars, just kind of enjoying myself. Just because kind of where the previous 2-3 years were, like kind of bringing me down a lot. I just wanted to have fun and kind of get my energy back. And actually when I started in Atlantic City, I was also when again started my whole fitness transformation journey.
Yeah.
So kind of moved everything forward and started progressing for me. After that first year in AC, I got rid of the partying. I was done with partying. It was all about my money, my business, and my future. That's all it was. So I would still party here and there, whatever, but nothing crazy. And then he was calling me for like a month. He's like, bro, like I need you out here. I need some managerial help, stuff like that. And I was like, Howard, I can't. Like I'm over the industry. I'm actually quitting at the end of this year, and then I'm trying to move to California.
What did you want to do when you quit?
I didn't know.
You just wanted to go to Cali.
I just wanted to go to Cali.
Yeah.
I really didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It was to the point where like, I don't know what I want to do. I just know it's not this, and I know whatever I'm gonna do, I'm gonna kill it. So I'm gonna figure it out somehow.
Amen.
And that's kind of how I approached life the last 6-7 years. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen next, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, and with me, it's never about like I'm gonna do it because people don't think I can. I'm gonna do it because I know that I can.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's always what it is. It's proving myself right over proving people wrong.
You're coming to
all
it
the time.
from a place of positivity as opposed to a place of negativity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Focus on kind of my own thing, kind of where I can go from here, and let's see how good you really are. It's like testing myself.
Yeah. I remember. So I did like the promotion game in college, but not on the level that you were on. So you were much bigger venues, much bigger club. I was much smaller. But I remember going through the exact same thing in my head, like showing up. It's sick. We're drinking for free. I'm working, but I'm partying at the same time. Yada yada. And then you see what that does to you, and you start to see kind of like the horror of what society is doing. Like that on the weekend, you see people beating the hell out of each other.
Right.
You see chicks vomiting in bathrooms.
You just see shit that the shit that I saw like between celebrities and between like celebrities coked out of their fucking mind.
Yeah.
Like crazy shit. And then between like bachelorettes leaving the club with some random dude or bachelors leaving the club with 2 prostitutes. Like, the shit you see in the industry. It's just like, fuck, what am I doing this for?
And it makes you feel dirty.
It does. And some people love it, and some people thrive off of it, and some people do it for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Like, again,
they do. Well, because the money
is good.
The money thing.
The money
like,
flows.
When you are done on a weekend and somebody is handing you cash, and if it's a good weekend, maybe it's a big holiday weekend, somebody's dapping you up with like $1,000.
Yeah, especially in Vegas.
Yeah,
especially in Vegas. Bro,
it's poisonous.
I was saying earlier, there's 40, 50-year-old hosts in Vegas that they've been a host for 30 years. They got nothing to fall back on.
Yeah.
That's all they got. And they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They're cool with it. Because they're going to do it for another 20 years and they'll just chill in Vegas.
Yeah, and so I just remember I said to myself, I think it was senior year of college, the club I was working at shut down because the owner was not paying his rent and he was spending all his money on cocaine.
Cocaine and hookers.
Yeah, and he was screwing everything up. And one of my buddies, I was the assistant manager, my buddy was the manager, and my buddy who was the manager got taken for everything he had. He had to go do a whole bunch of stuff to like fix his financials. I was fortunate, I was like a college kid, my name wasn't on anything besides promotion flyers.
Yeah.
So I had nothing to worry about when I stepped out. But I just remember for that next year getting call after call from people who wanted to start a new party, start a new venue, come be our promoter. And I remember just at that time in my life, I was getting ready to go in the Marine Corps. I was like, I'm stepping away from this venue here because this is toxic.
It's taking me down.
But what it sounds like, what you were doing while you were there, while you're in AC, instead of stepping out, you're like, oh, there's this money that I want, but I'm gonna also be focused on fitness and business and not let this affect me.
Right. So I thought the complete opposite way. I leveled the fuck up.
Yeah.
So when I got in the industry, I kind of started to pick up on the first month. I started to realize like what it was going to take to be successful, and kind of what image I needed to portray. And when I started, I was a $177, 5'3", 25% body fat. I was like, this isn't going to cut it.
Yeah.
So that Christmas prior in 2012, so a few months earlier, I asked my mom for two things. My parents weren't well off at the time financially. They weren't like doing too well, so I never really asked them for money. So I wanted the Sean T's Insanity workout home set video.
Yeah.
And money to help pay bills. That was it.
Okay.
So she gave me both. Money went to bills right away. Sean T's Insanity sat in the box. It sat in the box for 3-4 months. I opened it. I checked it out. I was like, yeah, I'm good.
That
Put it
is
away.
so funny.
Now, again, going back, like especially playing sports, like always into working out.
Yeah.
Always
I
into
remember
fitness.
seeing you in the gym all
like,
the time
like,
growing
since
up.
15 years old.
Yeah.
But after everything happened with East Carolina and then being in Brookdale, with all the drinking I started in high school through like my late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
I just drank a lot. I ate whatever the fuck I wanted just to get bigger because I was always small and I just always lifted. So
Yeah.
the combination of the three it gained very ugly weight for me and very unhealthy weight for
Dirty
me.
bulking.
Dirty bulking, man. I took it to a different level. Like I didn't get to go away to 4-year schools, and when you go away as a freshman, it's the whole freshman 15.
Yeah.
Bro, it was like the freshman 35 for me.
Yeah.
I wasn't even away at school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just put on dirty ass weight. I left high school at 140 pounds, and by late 2012, early 2013, I was 177 fucking pounds. It
Yeah.
was fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
So after my first month in Atlantic City, I was like, all right, I gotta kind of do something here. So it was Saturday, March 1st or March 2nd, 2013, and I had the box, the Insanity box. Opened it up, started it. Did the first day, it was like 45 minutes. I was like, I have 64 more days of this bullshit. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like, this couldn't be like a 30-day trial or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Like, it's time. Like, it's time. Like, that day, I got out of the shower that morning, and I was like, you're fucking disgusting.
You saw yourself in the mirror?
Saw myself in the mirror. I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck are you doing with yourself?
Yeah.
And I think going to Atlantic City helped me see that, just because it helped me see kind of the imagery that the industry imposed.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do this if I look like this. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm gonna be that fucking little fat kid going up to girls. Hey, you want a free bottle? No, you little fucking creep. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. So
Do you notice? I noticed this about myself when I got really overweight. I also went through a phase like that. I like showered less because I didn't want to see myself.
I showered more because I thought I was fucking gross. Even just walking around normal. It's like, let me shower the stink off.
Yeah. No, I remember like a couple times being like, oh my god, I haven't like showered in 2 days because I don't want to look at myself in the mirror. Yeah.
It's funny. So one of the things that helped me kind of see that was my first weekend in Atlantic City. I met Adrian Peterson, running back in the NFL.
Yeah.
It was one of my
not just a running back, but like an absolute beast.
Fucking monster.
Yeah.
So I met him. It was him, LaShawn McCoy, and a couple other people. This big league football after party. And he's like, "You're a promoter?" And I was like, "Fuck." I was like, "Damn."
Yeah. Putting you down like
put
that.
me down,
Yeah.
and I just wanted a picture of the dude. I'm like, "Yo, you're one of my favorite players all the time." He's like, "Can I help you?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm just a promoter here. I'm just trying to get a picture for the gram. Can I promote you guys being here?" He's like, "You're a fucking promoter?" I'm like, "Shit." So then we grabbed a quick picture. I have a fat triple chin. I got my beer in my hand. I got my little chin strap going. He's just looking like all like confused, like what's going on here. And then so that first weekend in March, I did the Insanity video, and then I did it straight through the next 65 days. I lost 13 pounds. I lost like 5% body fat, and I was like, yo, like now it's fucking time to really get serious. So that's how it all started for me, bro. Like I owe it to my mom and Sean T, and then I also owe it to myself, just kind of actually diving into it and fully investing in it. And that entire time, those 2+ months, I ate extremely healthy.
Yeah.
So which I wasn't used to doing.
Right.
Fast food all the time, home cooked meals, or like the box home meals and shit just for a quick bite. Bagels, pork roll, pizza, everything. You fucking name it. Pasta all the time. We're Italian. It's in our blood. We got to have pasta at least 5 times a week, right?
Yeah.
So I did Insanity. I lost that weight and body fat, and then I was like, all right, like I can do this. Like I can change my whole fucking life now.
Yeah.
So now with the whole brand and everything, I look back on that day. It was the day that I decided to wake up and work.
Yeah.
So it all kind of
that was the impetus for the company.
Yeah.
Dude, that's huge. So, one thing I wanted to touch on that you bring up that I think everybody needs to realize is You said you did that for like 2 months.
Yeah, it was a 65-day workout. So you do 30 days, and then you do 5 days of like a recovery, like reset week, just like stretching and core. And then month number 2, which kind of ramps things up a little bit.
And I always say to people, like, there's a reason that a lot of these gyms do 30-day fitness challenges or, like, you know, just for 45 days is because they're showing you, like, an end to the tunnel that you have to go into. But once you just do it for, like, 30 days and you realize how easy it is to do those things, to, like, make those changes in your life, you start this, like, snowballing effect where you can now continue to do that.
Yeah, right. And I call it breaking through the wall.
Yeah.
So
that's a good analogy.
You're pounding at the fucking wall. You're like, what the fuck? Why isn't this going down? Why is it going down? You break through and you're like, fuck. Like, now I'm fucking here.
Yeah.
So for me with Insanity, it was that first week. After that first week, like, I was winded. Like, I was taking, like, breaks when I shouldn't be taking breaks. Couldn't finish the workout after that first week. And then I was like, all right, like now it's time to ramp it up even more. So then, like, I was waking up early and shit, and, like, I was just kind of, even days where, like, a rest day, I was still going through my day kind of, like, in the full motion, just so I kind of got used to it and got into the habit of doing it all the time. And then after that first week, it became easy. The first month was easy after that, but I was, like, fucking killing it.
Yeah.
And then, so you do the 30 days, a 5-day rest recovery, like, stretching period, and then month number 2. And then again, first week of month number 2 was pretty tough. Then the last 3 weeks was like, all right, let's fucking go. Like I couldn't wait to do it.
Right.
Like I did it in my bedroom.
Yeah.
My grandma's downstairs in the living room. She's like, what the fuck are you doing, jumping up and down? I'm like, Gran, I look like shit. I gotta get this fat off. Just let me do my fucking workout.
So you're doing like burpees upstairs.
Fucking burpees in my bedroom. Burpees in my bedroom for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Jumping around, fucking hopping across the room and shit.
Yeah.
I had to flip my bed up against the wall so I had enough room.
Oh my gosh.
I had to move everything. I was just sitting in my room. At the end of the day, my whole fucking floor was just soaked in sweat.
Jeez.
So,
talk about determination.
Yeah, dude, I had to. I couldn't do it in the living room because my grandma sits down there on her computer and watches TV.
Anybody listening right now, if they are like, oh, I don't have the money to go to a gym, they need to just shut up and...
You just need to wake the fuck up and go to work, bitch.
That is so good.
It was good. So again, back to Atlantic City. So and
so when did you get to Vegas? That's what I want to know.
So the end of 2015, I was like, I'm done. Like whatever. I was like, all right, I need to get to California. That's where I need to be. That's what I want to do. That's where I want to build a platform. And that's where I really want to kind of help people.
Yeah.
Because with this whole fitness transformation, I started with Insanity. I wanted to figure out my best way to help people because I always saw myself as like a natural born leader.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of something that I took on at an early age. And I was like, there's something that I can do to help people.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get to California and do whatever it was that I was going to do to help people, right? And then I was like, wait a minute. You don't have any fucking money. California's expensive as shit.
More expensive than here.
Way more expensive than here, and you ain't got a job.
Yeah.
Like, if you quit this industry, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So then after a month of getting recruited to go to Vegas, I was like, fuck it. Let's just go to Vegas for a little bit.
Yeah.
So then, again, I called up, his name was Howard Weiss. I called him up, I was like, yo, like, I'm down. But he wanted me to go out as a VIP manager because that's what I did for him in Atlantic City.
Right.
And I was like, but I want to move to the operational side. I was like, I just graduated. I have a business degree. I don't want to do VIP anymore. I want to be on management operations, behind the scenes. I don't want to help kind of promote the party. I want to build the party.
Right.
I want to be the guy pulling the strings. I want to run the operation.
Right.
He's like, okay, what's it going to take for you to get out here? I was like, I don't know, $40,000. He's like, I can do a little better. Let me get back to you tomorrow.
Good man.
All right, sweet.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking know money either.
No.
I didn't know money. The most I made as a promoter was $33,000 in 1 year before taxes.
Yeah.
So and I was a independent contractor, so I was still paying taxes every year.
Oh God.
So I was just getting fucking killed, and I didn't know what I was doing.
No.
Like I didn't know how to set myself up that way. And then Howard called me. He got me an offer, and then goes back to our conversation when we were out there together in your lives. Like, you have an offer for me. I'll be on the next plane out. So he had the offer for me. I was like, I'm not gonna be on the next plane out, but I can get there by like February 1st. And this is like early November, so it gave me about 2.5 months, right, to get ready. Thanksgiving comes. I was like, you know what? I told my family on Thanksgiving, I was like, hey guys, I'm moving to Vegas on February 1st. Everyone went up in arms, like, why are you moving to Vegas? You're leaving, this and that. And for me, since I didn't get to go away to East Carolina after high school, I had to get away.
This was your
this was my chance.
town.
And it wasn't like I was running away from Ocean. It wasn't like I was getting out of town.
Which Ocean is the town that Louie and I grew up in. So everybody knows.
Ocean Township, New Jersey.
Right next to Asbury Park, yeah.
It's called the Community of Gracious Living.
Is that really what they call it?
It is. I'll get to that in a little bit.
I didn't know that.
I'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'll get to that in a little bit, why I know that. So it was like, you know, like take a chance.
Yeah.
I was 24 years old. I had nothing holding me down. I had nothing keeping me here. There was no reason not to.
Right.
So, and this is for everyone out there that ends up hearing this. If you get an opportunity, if you're able to create an opportunity to do something that you're afraid of, you question, you don't know what's at the end of the tunnel, just fucking do it and you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You will figure it all out later.
Yeah.
Like, there's no better feeling than taking a chance on yourself and not thinking, like, can I do this? It's knowing I'm going to do this no matter what it takes to do this.
Yeah.
Like, doing whatever it takes, right? So,
I think that's a huge point though, because a
Huge.
lot of people. Rodney, I don't know if you saw the episode with Rodney. Rodney says like everybody wants a roadmap. So that was like episode 5 if people want to check that out. But Rodney was like, you know, he quoted David Goggins and he's like, everybody wants a roadmap.
Yep.
You know, sometimes you just need to go out and do it. And I always say that too. It's like just build it, and if the wheels fall off, you'll fix it along the way.
That's it. If you can't figure it out now, you're gonna figure it out eventually.
Right.
But no one can hold your hand doing it.
Right.
You gotta do it yourself, and it comes down to as simple as you believing that you're gonna be able to do it.
Yeah.
No matter what it takes to do it, because you don't have any other choice.
Right, because that's the one key thing is once, you know, for setting a goal and going after it, and you're going to meet the roadblocks and the walls that you talk about.
And you got to break through them.
But that's the thing, is that you can't meet that first level of resistance.
That's it.
And give up. You need to push through. Yeah.
But not only push through, but you gotta do it to prove yourself right that you can do it.
Yeah.
It's not about the people it's not about the doubters and the haters.
Right.
Who gives a fuck about that shit? That's just all fucking ancillary noise, right? So again, back to before, like, it's not about proving people wrong. It's about proving myself right.
Right.
That's all it comes down to.
And so you wanted to get out of town. You're like, I need to do this to prove myself.
That I can do it.
Yeah.
I knew no one in Vegas. So I told my family Thanksgiving 2020, when was it? 2015. It was like, hey guys, I'm leaving on February 1st. And then it's getting closer. My boss Howard, my soon-to-be boss, moved out there in early December. And then he's like, hey, how quick can you get here? I was like, bro, I can be there early January. Like, I already told Frank, my boss in Atlantic City, I was like, yo, after New Year's, I'm done. I was like, I can be there in early January. He's like, bro, that would be huge. I was like, fuck it. So on Christmas Eve dinner, I told my family, I was like, guys, I'm not leaving on February 1st anymore. They're like, what do you mean, you're not going to Vegas? I was like, I'm leaving in 10 days. My grandma's like, get the fuck out of here. No, you're fucking not. I was like, no, I'm dipping the fuck out. Like, I'm getting out of here. So I was like, why not? What am I waiting for? Because at the time, I thought I was going to wait so long that I was going to talk myself out of it.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good that you realize. I think we
subconsciously tell ourselves that, like, if you keep putting it, it's that same quote that goes, why put off tomorrow what you can get done today?
Yeah.
Right? So, like, I told myself, I was like, you're really going to wait another 5 weeks, or you just want to just fucking do it already?
We always say to ourselves, like, once I have this, I can do that.
Yep.
Right? Like, we have this inner self-speak, or this inner self-talk, where we're like, once I take an opportunity to do this, or once I find this thing, I'll be able to go after this goal. And it just needs to be, no, like, I'm going to start right now. I'm going to start and go after it right now.
Right. It's almost like looking for permission.
Yes. Well,